listening to Rated RX. Your dose for the day.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Rated RX podcast. This week on Things I Wish I Knew in Pharmacy School, we have the adverse reaction section, and I'll be doing a video for you guys. And, we want to talk about it a little bit, okay? So just let me share my screen here.
Let's see it.
All right,
Yes.
we're gonna do the TikTok.
The TikTok, man.
Yes, we're going to the TikTok here. All right, and this
So-
is a friend of the podcast, and he talking about some things that the number one thing that he wish he knew at pharmacy school.
I know that guy.
Here's our boy
I know that
Retail with
guy.
Reese. All right.
One thing I wish I knew in pharmacy school, and I don't think you're being taught it either. Your grades won't get you the job. And seriously, I know that we stress about our GPAs and all the other things, but in the real world, it's the relationships that matter the most. The connections that you build with your classmates, your preceptors, your coworkers, and even on rotations, those things are key to helping you succeed in the future. Those are the people that are going to vouch for you and open the doors for opportunities. I've interviewed at 7 different companies, some with multiple rounds of interviews, and not once was I asked about my GPA or the posters I presented. And personally, I presented 2. The 2 things they really care about is, are you easy to work with and are you competent? That's really it. So yes, do your best in school, keep your grades up, but don't underestimate the power of networking.
All right. Big facts there. Big facts. I am a key believer in networking. But let's start off with this question first. Because I want to know, do you guys think that grades, the grades that you get in pharmacy school, do they actually matter when it comes to getting a job? Not just, wanting in school, they for sure matter because you got to pass to get through. But like, what about when it comes to, getting a job?
I would say not really. Lining like that. Probably a little caveat of like if you're doing residency, like obviously you'd have to get a level to get into that point, and then again, you're passing. They're looking at, do you have your PGY1? Do you have your 2? Do you have this specialty or not? Same idea. I would think they're not really looking at the grades. Same thing for just pharmacy school. Did you graduate? What experience do you have? What do you like to do, this or that, in your field that you are wanting to do? And I'm sure, I haven't interviewed too many people, but, just that level of communication, or even just, with our classmates, like who can just sit there and carry a conversation? Robbie, day one, just sitting there joking off, doing whatever. Zay trying to start a fantasy football. So I remember I didn't actually meet him in person, but I knew that we were trying to do that. So I was like, came up to him and talked to him because we were talking about football before we even, like, the first time we met, because he wanted to get a team going with us versus people that, just don't communicate, don't talk, have a hard time with that, just aren't going to social events. Not that you got to be part of a frat like we were there, but wanting to hang out with each other, socialize, as you saying, be part of a group, have those connections where someone will vouch for you, say this is a good person, and open those doors. So I would say agree with that, where it's not that important. You need to know what you need to know, but it doesn't mean that that's an A in every single class to understand the material and to be able to go through that subject. You seem to be nodding quite a bit over there, Robbie. Are you on the same page?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have not had a single employer ask for my GPA after graduation, with the exception of my residency. But that's only really to get you in the residency. And I'll say that they don't even really grade you in the residency. You're not leaving with like a, hey, I got an A. It's just more like, hey, did you do the curriculum we had in front to earn this certificate of achievement? So you don't even get a GPA there. So it's just sort of like, yes, it is important if you're in school, depending on your goal. But if you already have, but most of us already have jobs aligned too because of the networking and the connections, in which case you just got to graduate pharmacy school and be a competent pharmacist. So definitely does not matter. So just grind away, pass school, but know your stuff, because you still have to graduate. You still have to be a good pharmacist. And a lot of times, unfortunately, grades are sort of connected into how much knowledge you actually know and carry, but just know enough so you can pass your exam and get certified, right? I will say that though grades have not been asked of me after graduation, boards have been asked though, and then various licenses have been asked, and then I did a residency or not too. So I would say that depending on the job you want, it'll be easier to get these things like a residency and potentially a board after the residency. So because you don't have to wait 3 years for BCPS to sit for the exam. So just depends on your goal. If you need to go fast, get good grades, get residency. If you really don't care, you got it made, then hey, you got it made.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. For grades, it's not the biggest thing, right? But you want to make sure it depends on, like Robert said, it depends on your goal. Like it's you versus you, right? You know what you want. What do you got to do to get it, right? If you got to get an A to reach your goal, you need to do that, right? So even if you make a bad score on something, like as long as you like look back, okay, why did I get these wrong? Learn from that and take that with you as you move on.
I
That's what you're trying
overslept.
to do,
That's why.
right? Right.
I slept in class.
Hey, you guys are doing it
I gotta
wrong.
find that picture, man. I gotta find that picture of
Oh,
me.
I got tons of pictures of sleeping class, especially of me, because you always send them to me. Hey, but no, it's you versus you. Like, I mean, like I said,
Zay chose a B for that day.
hey, I chose a C some days too, but
or some Z's.
hey, but it's all right because I always got an A on the final or B on the final just because it was me versus me, and I knew I was better than that, so I went harder for the next test for sure.
Your own
All
worst
right,
enemy.
so talking about this a little bit more, right? So you got the grades don't really matter. So how are we getting these jobs, right? The video, it said that networking is key, right? So I know me personally, to where I got where I am today is because I did a lot of networking with a lot of people. So I was in pharmacy school, I was starting to meet all my classmates. And that was helping me get into Kappa Psi because of Kappa Psi. I knew this person who was a residency who was a supervisor at this job where I was applying residency to, so that might have helped a little bit. I still performed and, did well in the interview and all that stuff, but I didn't even know about the program until I networked with that person, right? And then when I left there and I got my first job, that person's fiance was at another hospital who was hiring. So it's mostly about who you know. It's hard to get in the VA. Like just look at the VA. It's hard to get in the VA, but you have to know somebody in there because they have to like refer you in for most of the time, right? Because as a civilian, they try to recruit from within. So they already have people there. They try to, bring those people in, and then they bring the civilians in at the bottom to start, into the new job. So networking was very important for me. You guys have any stories about networking, how you got to where you are today?
Not specifically for my current job, but I did get a lot of job offers from past preceptors who like reached out to me. They had like jobs opening up. They saw I completed a residency and they were like, "Hey, you want to we have this job. Are you interested?" I didn't take them up on certain things, but one job that I did have, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, that I did have after networking was my manager job when I was a pick for, back in a small town here. They knew who I was because I used to work there as a technician. They reached out to me directly. And so that itself was the network, is because they had experience with me before. And it was a good experience. I enjoyed being a pick. There were definitely some headaches, as any job goes, right? Won't get into that for legal sake. But but
Throw them under
yeah,
the bus.
no, definitely not. Definitely not. So you got to keep it. Trust me, I want to, but you got to pay me. You got to pay me to speak up for something like that.
Gotta make it worth my
The
time.
Patreon.
Exactly. Yes, the Patreon. But hey, if I get paid to speak, can you actually trust it? Now I'm just saying whatever to get paid. So
It's true. That's true.
So yeah. Anyways, yes, one job. It was good. It was bad, but he's definitely right. Definitely focus on your network. Go to those, chapter events. There's here in California, CSHP. Man, that was a mouthful to say. Or CHSP, whatever the hell it is.
Sound it out.
California Hospital Society of Pharmacists, something like that. I don't know. I'm a member. I never go. The point is, you should go to those things because you'll meet
Do
people.
what I do. You should
Yeah,
go.
don't do what I do. Don't get complacent
I'm
in
a
your job.
podcaster.
Yeah,
I don't need a job.
exactly. No, I mean that's the thing. It's they're depending on your professional goals, it will go a long way. My professional goals, I like where I'm at now because I can do podcasting. I know pharmacists who are hell bent on being a pharmacist, and they just I work with a couple. They always want to do research, publish papers, go present, and that's great. Like that's awesome. Me, I'm good, but I can say that watching them do that, they have made a lot of connections. They know a lot of people, and they tell me all the time, like, "Yeah, I got this job offer. I don't feel like leaving right now." And it's just like, dude, and I know I could have that if I did those connections like them, but it's just, oh man, it's hard
Hey,
to stay motivated.
hey, just meet the people,
Yeah, meet the
Just
people.
keep it in your back pocket.
Yes.
Sam, any networking stories you have about,
I
how you
mean, I
got
would
your job?
say for students or that aspect of like, especially for us, because we didn't do year round where you have that summer, like, go work as an intern, spend a few weeks. So like I would, so the doggies over there.
That's my dog. Sorry. It's Kona. She's a sassy
Oh,
Malamute.
nah.
Oh, Kona.
Doing that work during the summer, that experience, I would say, the place that I worked, I was a tech there before and then coming back for a few weeks as an intern. So, you could see that I am competent and learning or improving as an intern and being able to do these other things. So just getting out there in the workspace, not as much your social interactions and circles, but just getting work experience and let them see you work. Do the work.
Nice. Nice. Love that. Great advice to our students out there. Just piggybacking off that, we talked about the grades. We talked about getting real world experience in networking. How do you think the students can balance that? It's difficult to network a lot and you got to focus on your grades. You slack off on your grades. If you're too hard on your grades, you're not meeting people, so you're not opening up doors for yourself. How can they balance that?
I mean, they got obviously organizations to help. Realistically, Kappa Psi or fraternities, because
Okay.
you're doing it there with your classmates, students, so everyone's kind of in the same boat. It's not like you're out doing random things. Like they design it. They know you're all students. Everyone's students there. So doing those in group things, getting you discounts to go do whatever, those organizations. So being in a couple of those, always a good added piece to try to balance that. And then working what you can. Some people can work more. I can't remember the hours I worked. It was either, I think it was like 8 hours. I did like 2 4-hour shifts. But Zay, you were saying you worked 20 hours, so you had full weekends
Yeah.
going.
Yes,
Not to
sir.
say I couldn't do it, but I was just like, man, I don't want to do that. And then I'm sure there's people out there that are doing that or more. Doing full shifts. Creighton had a distance program, so people were doing their full lives and everything else, and doing classes at night. Who are
Wow.
classmates, and then fly back to Creighton during the summer to do all their labs. So everyone's got a little different situation, trying to balance life. Just do your best, but it's good to get that networking. It's good just to not focus on one aspect, just that academic. Be a little more well rounded, even if it's just a little bit. It's probably going to help you.
Yeah, definitely gotta be well rounded, balanced. Woosah. Oh, sorry, I took it too far. All right, Robbie, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, school definitely tried to give us the opportunity to do these things. They always had, like, I recall them always having these events where you could go chat it up with the teachers and then you just meet them, get them get to know you. They also gave us time off to go to these events, but they also gave us opportunities to go to these events, like mid-year, APHA. Even if you had an exam, they're like, we will let you pause this so you can go. And that was the opportunity to meet people and network. So they certainly tried. And I think at a certain point, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the school reimbursed you for part of that too? Because they really wanted you to go? Or does it
I think
sound,
I
so.
think
We
yeah,
got some
right?
sort of
they,
Yeah.
discount or something where it was better for us.
Yeah, we got a student discount for these events, but I want to say in some cases the school helped paid for it too because they really wanted us to go and network. So they try. So I mean, it's great the school's trying, and I hope they continue to do that.
Yeah, just, balance is tough. You gotta do a little bit of both, a little bit of networking, a little bit of working on those grades. And one thing I like to say is always network with your classmates for sure and get to know your classmates, because your classmates are all going to be pharmacists, and some of them are going to be big shot superstar supervisors that hire pharmacists. Some of them are going to do entrepreneur type things and have their own business where they may want friends to come in. Like Robbie invited us to this podcast. He's a superstar. So, get to know your classmates, because you never know what their goals and ambitions are. And, you might be working for them one day. So a
I'm
job
not
is a
paying these
job.
guys, so
Man, we getting paid a whole lot of zeros. Whole lot of zeros.
Yes.
Wait till you see that check.
You'll be the first to know. Don't worry, you guys both.
Robbie's got to buy those rated RX signs.
Hey, look. Well, that's for Team Rocket.
Yeah, I thought that was
Pokemon.
a Team Rocket shirt. Nice. Well, that's all we have for you guys on this segment. Follow us on TikTok. Please share this, let other people know. Somebody want to know how they can balance grades and networking and hear all about all the things we have to say. We're smart people. Listen to us. But like and follow us, send in your comments, and we are.
Peace.
Bye.
Rated RX, you're doing